Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very special episode of the GeekVerse podcast. My name is Travis Snell. Ooh, we got a lot to talk about today. You know who I am. We've been doing this for 5 years, you GeekVerse fans. You know the rigmarole. That's why today is not about GeekVerse. It is GeekVerse on a larger scale, but really, if you want to know anything about us, if you're new to this, that listening might be your first time, everything, our video, our audio, how to support us, Patreon, reviews, episodes, all down below in the description. But for old school fans, you might know some other things in the description, some other names. And that's what we're talking about today because hopefully you're here because you saw social media posts, the video or the audio. If not, you maybe woke up, you're like, what is this thing on my feed? So June 1st, GeekVerse is launching a podcast network that we are producing. Geek Ultimate Alliance is coming June 1st. It is stacked. We got a slew of really good hosts and really good shows and really good concepts that we can't wait to lay out. June 1st, it's a month away and it's not that far. And we are going to give you a bunch of details here today, but it's going to be just a quick bite size. What we're going to do is the next few weeks, stay tuned to our social media. Follow those people down below because you're going to meet them throughout the months. You're going to love them. They're just as passionate as we are. These are people that we're friends with, but people we have vetted. These are people that I have some known for years. These are people that I'm just getting to know this past year, but I've seen great things. These are people that have all been selected because we trust them to produce a good show. They have a track record of producing good things, and they're passionate. And that's the biggest thing that we wanted was passionate people. And as far as what we wanted with this network, before we even get to the network, I touched upon this in the video, but from everyone here at GeekVerse, we just owe all of you fans and listeners and our friends, honestly, all the support that you've given us over the years. It's tremendous. It's crazy to think that we've been coming on 5 years and we keep growing and it keeps getting better. And literally, this network literally is because of you guys. What happened last year after Endgame, the support you guys give us, the support you guys are giving us Patreon, you guys are making it so we can create something new and take this new adventure. And as I said in the video, I hope you join us. I hope you trust us. And before we get in that, the network, nothing's changing here with GeekVerse. We're just expanding. Nothing's happening on GeekVerse. You're still going to get your weekly episodes. You're still going to get the Madhouse as always. Same host, same, sometimes Bat Channel. That's the problem with all this stuff going on, right? It's a crazy world. But with GeekVerse, nothing's changing. It's just kind of growing. And that's the best thing. And that's because of you guys. And even then, you'll get more of us. Some of us are hosting a show on that network. Some people are going to guest on that network. Guaranteed, you're going to see us over there. You're going to see crossover episodes. You're going to see lots of stuff. So GeekVerse is just getting bigger and better. As Kirklin said a few years ago, best year yet. And even though it's a crazy time, it is our best year yet. It keeps being that. So again, you guys and gals, we love you and we thank you, each and every one of you. If you ever just listen to one episode, we thank you for the support. Because that's what led to today. So me, Dylan, and Taylor, we've been talking about this for a while, and then we've talked about the other geeks, but there's been times where we kind of kicked around, like, oh, what if we could do this and that? And that's where I said in the video, it's just kind of, you had to wait for everything to align. You had to wait for the right people and the right timing. And we feel this is the right time. We're ready to make a big move. And what we're doing is this is a network. This is a podcast network. If you didn't hear the video, we are producing it. It's going to be 5 days a week, sometimes 6. There might be a show. There'll be announcements. Like we said, what the plan is in the next month or so before June 1st. We're going to do a big cast with all of us at GeekVerse here and then all the members of the network, and they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves, their show, everything like that. And with Geek Ultimate Alliance, it's going to be in its own separate feed, so go down below. You can subscribe right now on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and everywhere. If it's not on one you listen, let us know. Hit us up at GeekVerse. Geek Ultimate Alliance will be having a Twitter and Facebook made this weekend, so that's going to be very quick. And hit up the host. If you say, hey, I listened to this and it's not there, please do it. So, as I said, we're very excited to be doing this, but you're going to meet everybody, and what's going to happen today, I'm just going to give you a quick little rundown. So it's 5 days a week, 6 shows. So what's happening right now is I'm going to go just day by day, and this is what you're going to be getting. And like I said, starting June 1st, so Monday, June 1st, Marvel Alliance is launching. I think you can guess. I think you're smart enough to know. As I guess maybe I shouldn't have mentioned, this network is going to feature very much like our network and very much stuff that we think you would really enjoy and stuff that's going to take deeper dives into geekdom. And Marvel Alliance is just that. It's a show about anything Marvel, comic books, MCU, the Sony Marvel favorite just spaghetti characters, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves each other. Pardon my language. That's one thing. The new network will still be explicit. So if you have kids, I'm sorry. Just don't tell your parents you listen, So that show is hosted by someone who's pretty great, and it's not myself because I'm also hosting the show, but it's Chris Balga. So he is kind of double dipping with us. He's somebody and this is no disrespect to anybody else on the network. When we first started this, what it is a collection of is there's shows that are being created for the network, but then there's also shows that are coming and joining the network. Chris was the first one on my list when this was a real possibility. I'm like, I want that show because he is bringing, so Monday is, and I'll wait till Chris' other show, but he's bringing his show, World's Finest True Believers. It's a fantastic comic book show. Please give it a listen, and he's going to explain what's going on in that show. But Monday, it's being Chris and I. I'm very excited to host a show with Chris. Me and him met through a Super Civil Servants podcast, and he's a great guy. He's very educated. He's going to drop an episode in hhis podcast feed coming up. Details for him, for all you people, if you're listening that are fans of his. Just even a great voice, that's one thing I like. I hate to say it to everybody else, but we're all competing with Chris for the best voice. He's just like, it sounds radio. I'm jealous, especially my voice is always whiny, high pitched. But me and him have been talking about ideas and just the back and forth we've already had. Even the episode we recorded for his podcast. I'm very excited to be doing this with Chris. I couldn't ask for a better start. I'm very excited because we've only casted a few times, but every time we've talked, we've had a great chemistry, and I can't wait. The show ideas, we're going to put a lot of effort into this, so that's dropping every Monday. The plan is right now all these are going to be 6 a.m. Pacific time, so whatever that's going to be, it's 9 a.m. Eastern, some people, but that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a schedule. With GeekVerse, that's a problem with our lives, how we do it. We try to give you as many episodes, as much content. As you've seen, the schedule kind of goes up and down. People are having kids, people are getting married. All this stuff's going on. With this, it's going to be the same day, same time, every time, unless there's some change. But that's going to happen. Monday is Marvel Alliance, and I cannot wait to bring you that. That's a show I'm hosting, so I personally am going to try my very best. On the other side of the coin, DC Alliance. Now, DC Alliance is hosted by two guys that I've known for quite a while. One in particular, Greg and Nathan, who you're going to meet in the next few weeks here. You got Nathan, who is, man, he's somebody that is smart as a whip. He will say something controversial. He'll stand by it, but he is some guy that when I've listened to Super Civil, and you can go find that their podcast, go down to their Twitter and go subscribe to that show, listen to it. It's great. You can get a little taste of what they're going to be bringing you. They're going to be bringing you same thing as Marvel, but everything DC Tuesday. He's a guy that just is a wealth of knowledge, and I'm waiting for the time when they bring it up. I think there's been like one time, and they're coming on a year, so congrats to those guys, where they brought up something he didn't know about, but anytime he's just whipping out knowledge, so I'm very excited to work with him. And Greg, he's somebody that I've known the longest out of this bunch. He was somebody that was a fan. He's somebody that even before his podcast, he, listened to us, and he's been a patron, and I'm good friends with Greg, but also he is just a fantastic host. He's, as far as people that I've guested shows on and listened to, he's one of the better hosts out there because he's just great he's very giving. He's someone, you listen to me sometimes, I'm a motor mouth. Greg will sit back, he'll let people talk, he great talking points. I've been on the show multiple times, and I'm very excited with Greg. Me and him might be doing some other stuff down the line too with the Batman, so you never know, but those two will be hosting DC Alliance, and I think it's going to be a really kick-ass show, so listen to that. Wednesday, I was talking about this earlier with Chris, World's Finest True Believers. He has a fantastic show. What he does is he brings on a guest and we're going to talk about the schedule when we have him sitting down. There will be a show every week, but there's going to be a different little format to it, but we will explain that in the near future. It does matter because it's just a great show and you're going to want to listen to it. He has a guest on, and they pick a comic book arc, and they break it down. He impressed me because when we were talking about I'm going to guest on a show at some point, when we were talking about, he's like, yeah, you need to let me know because I need a few weeks to research. I was like, okay, this guy's not just like reading. He's not just, off the cuff. And I've seen it firsthand of him talking about like his process. And this is a really good show. This is a show that I really wanted because comic books, they're the base of a lot of these fandoms, a lot of these shows that we're talking about, the Marvel, the DC, other shows that's going to be happening. So it's a great show. Listen to it. There's going to be some classic episodes on this feed as well, so you can get caught up and go follow Chris. I cannot wait to work with him, and listen to these shows. And I can't wait to guess. It was very tough. I'm not going to spoil what I picked, but it was very tough to pick my one. So then Thursday's going to be a little bit different, but you guys are going to dig it. So what we got going on is we have two shows on that day, but they're going to be switching bi-weekly. So the launch week, you're going to get Slice of Film, and the second week, you're going to get Star Wars Alliance, both hosted by Katie. Go down below. Go check her out. She's doing some great articles right now. And I mentioned that because she wrote this article about how Daredevil the movie was better than the TV show, which is a hot take, right? And this is what convinced me to. I had already she'd been recommended by people and everything like that, but I had already had the idea of, I want to bring her into this. And I'm telling the GeekVerse about this. But then once I heard, because she defended this on a podcast, once I heard her stance and her actually talking about it, that's when I kind of knew, okay, I want to lock her in, because she's somebody that there is on this panel. Everybody disagreed with her big time, but she stood her ground. She wasn't just doing like hot take McGee, just throwing it out there to have some fun, to stir some feathers. She really believed it, and she made great points for it. And that's like, okay, this is somebody I want. And I'm going to let her explain her show about Slice of Film. She's got some really good ideas with that. She wants to go into older films that she's not seen before. There's a lot of films that she told me she'd never seen. Alien, and I was quite caught off guard. So she's going to be doing a lot of that film she'd never seen. And Star Wars Alliance. Honestly, with Star Wars, that was tough because we wanted that, but we weren't sure. And Katie, when I first talked to her, just even about her show Slice Film, she mentioned she's a big Star Wars fan. We talked about a potential Star Wars show, and it was her pitch that made a Star Wars show happen on here. So it's gonna be her, and she's gonna have a guest on every bi-weekly as of right now, and they're gonna talk Star Wars. And again, I'm gonna let her tell you all about what that show is gonna be, but it's gonna be encompassing the movies, the TV shows, and the books. She's a massive fan. I've heard her just spout off her knowledge, and yeah, I'm very excited to have her on the network. So stay tuned. That Friday is my Earth One equivalent, Travis Hynes, another Canadian. So he is, you can go check it out right now. His feed is there, but his show's going to be jumping over to our feed, Superhero Discussion. So this is going to do a wide range variety of animation in superhero shows. So what's going to be happening is, to start, every Friday you're going to do it, and I think I'll let him announce what's going to be happening once we get there. He's going to announce what series. He's going to be reviewing a certain classic animated series weekly, and he's going to break down that. It's going to probably be like every episode will be maybe 2 episodes or 3 episodes. Might be just him, might be a guest, but they're going to break it down. But then also bi-monthly as of right now. He's wanting to go more, but we're just launching. So, but he's working really hard. I can tell you, he's been shouting ideas. He's messaging me all the time. Travis he's a workhorse, and I'm very excited to be working with him. And it's, another Travis. We got Tyler, Taylor, Travis, all encompassing this network. So many T's going around in this generation, but every month he's going to have some guests on, and he's going to talk about a movie, whether it's a Marvel animated movie or DC animated movie. And I can announce that I'm going to be on the first one. Hopefully, my life is always crazy. You guys know this, but the first one he's going to be doing is Flashpoint. I'm very excited, and yeah, he's a very passionate dude. Go watch his other stuff. Go listen to his other stuff. I'm very excited to be having him on this network and trying to decide which Travis. They call him Travis Earth 1, and I'm Travis Earth 2. So, and he's also T-Bone. He's the man of like 1,000 names. So we'll figure all that. All that matters, you're going to listen to his show. You're going to love it, and yeah. And then finally, about all this, as far as the people hosting and whatnot, speaking of Flashpoint, that episode's going to feature myself and Katie and also Lisa from I Love That Movie. Her description's down below. Check her out. She's going to be guesting monthly. She's a member of this roster. She's somebody that her show is fantastic. She's somebody that you hate listening to as a fellow podcaster because she'll make a point about a movie and you go, I didn't think about it that way. And you go, oh, she's a little bit better than me, maybe. So that's the thing that I was very happy. She's the person I've met the most recently. I told GeekVerse about them. They were very excited, and I was happy to get her aboard because she's a phenomenal host. And anytime you can add more talent, which we want, all we want, we're talented and passionate people, and that's a good thing across the board. We have that. So check out her show. I Love That Movie. She has a guest on, and they pick a movie they love, and they dissect it. They break it down, and it's just really well done, and it's really well spoken. And she's the biggest thing I've seen too, which is why one of the main reasons she's going to be on this network is I've seen her interact with her listeners and her fans. Very kind, but very passionate, very outgoing, lots of conversations with her viewers and listeners. So it's just a vibe that I like, and a vibe that I really appreciate, and a vibe we want. And everyone else brings those too, but Lisa has just been great as far as we've been talking about, very accommodating as far as scheduling and whatnot, because and that's the thing, all these people, they're going to be working very hard as far as they've said to me, and I can believe it because all these people have been accommodating when we're talking about scheduling. Some people have already recorded episodes and pre-banked them for you guys. All these people are very passionate, and that's the biggest thing I can say. If you can pick one word for Geek Ultimate Alliance, it's passion. GeekVerse wanted a whole network of people that are passionate, and we have found that, and that's why it's called Geek Ultimate Alliance, because this is an alliance of many personalities, and they're all different. That's what you're gonna find. Is there's no That's the biggest thing we didn't want. Is we don't want a think tank. We don't want a bubble. We want people all fun and respectfully, talking and disagreeing and agreeing and having every in between about movies and comic books and maybe video games down the line, everything like that. Marvel, Star Wars, DC. It is that cliche, but we want to be that one-stop shop. So, and you're going to see multiple. I've already had Taylor penciled in for guesting. I already got Dylan penciled for guesting. Kirklin, perhaps. You never know. He's always helping his grandma move. So, sorry, Kirklin had to throw that in there. So, yeah, that's kind of the nitty-gritty for now. As I said, there's going to be more details down the line. Just stay tuned to our Twitter and Facebook. Follow them on Twitter. We're going to be posting about, and then like I said, before launch, there'll be an episode on the new feed and this feed on both feeds. We're going to meet everybody, and I'm very excited for this because this is something that we've worked very hard to build, and it's nothing we're not taking this lightly. We know, and especially we know if you're fans of GeekVerse, you're trusting us to say, hey, we believe in these people, we believe in this network, and we hope you do, and we hope you give it a shot. So thank you very much. We all of us at GeekVerse, thank you, and I thank you to all the people that are aboard the team. If you're listening to this, I'm very excited to be working with every one of you. We got many hours ahead of us of talking and having a good time. So, as I always say in GeekVerse, I promise you, it'll not be boring. Thank you.